While the markets are continuing to be affected by the situation in Iran and other global market trading factors, it's time now to take a look at the closing market summary. Joining me today is Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Hey, Riley. Yeah, we saw, so it seemed like a lot of money flow stepping into grains, kind of an inflation hedge is kind of what it felt like to me. It was, we started out the day kind of soybeans a little choppy, a little lower on the day. We've had a nice run up and kind of seeing some hedge pressure. But boy, as the day went on, crude oil got some strength. And then, there was a comment that we saw that the U.S. Command Center come out and mentioned that something about the war with Iran, could last significantly longer than what we have been initially hearing. So it seemed like after that kind of that news come out, we just saw some money flow kind of come in here and just chase, corn, soybeans, and wheat and push crude oil up, well over $6 here going into the close.
So when we look at the corn and soybean reactions to that, is there anything in general that will specifically affect them, or are they mostly reacting to other marketplaces? You mentioned, the oil markets, the wheat markets. Is that more of an effect?
Yeah, definitely the crude oil is boosting. We've got the funds there back to, I think, neutral, probably starting to build themselves a little bit of a long position in both corn and wheat. Now, we are seeing some hedge pressure here, especially on some on old crop corn. We've got a lot to move and also new crop hedges. Now, we have been hearing there's been a little bit of old crop beans sold, but, the farmer doesn't have a lot of soybeans left. So that could be an interesting market to watch. In far as new crop bean hedges, we're not hearing a lot of hedging taking place. So I think that's maybe kind of limiting the upside. But if this war does happen to extend a lot longer than what we're expecting, and that's going to definitely disrupt some supplies and of the energy markets. We're also hearing about nitrogen prices having a significant increase than what we saw here just in the early part of December. So and there's always the concern about getting a hold of the nitrogen. So there's some talk about maybe these corn acres this spring might be on a way back down, and maybe soybean acres up just a touch.
And when we think about those acreage changes, if we were to see those, any major changes there, or just maybe slight adjustments, or anything else?
Yeah, we just look for slight adjustments. The fringe areas, we've got guys down in the Delta are starting to plant. We may see some acres, maybe not quite as many corn acres there. A lot of it's going to boil down to is if people have their fertilizer bought, and maybe a lot of them have it applied, which we do feel like a majority of that is taking place. But you get in the fringe areas, the Delta, us up here in the Dakotas, we maybe have those, farmers might have that extra quarter of land that I could go either way, corn or soybeans. That might, drive their decision to put it into soybeans now.
And then on the other side of the ag marketplace with the livestock, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
Yeah, live cattle, very quiet. They ended up the day about 10 to 20 cents higher here. We're still waiting for some cash trade announcement, but they had a nice big boost here yesterday. Same with feeder cattle. Of course, feeder cattle under a little bit of pressure with corn being up 8-9 cents here on the day. They were down about $1.40, $1.50. And lean hogs, they had a nice big up day yesterday, just giving back some of those gains here as well. So, but all those markets still look pretty friendly and look like there's maybe some more upside to come yet.
And then when we look at the trade situation, we know with the grains having an effect there, but we've seen a lot of trade deals to help with the demand on the livestock side of things. So when it comes to this war, do we think there would be maybe less of an impact on the livestock, or just as much?
You're going to see some trickle down effects with it. Overall, the livestock still got very strong demand. You still have here just in the U.S. and we're still going to see the demand out of China, Japan, Korea, those countries. They're still going to be pretty actively buying the U.S. meats in here. So overall, I don't think it'll be as much of an effect. I think the grains will have a little bit more effect with this war.
All right, Cory, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, easiest, just head on over to our website, which is agmarket.net, and you can get a hold of us there.
All right, Cory, thanks again for the time today, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks, Riley.